Aquarius, welcome to your reading. I am Shivani and I'm so happy to have you here. I had a look at the chart, so we're going to do astrology first and then we're going to dive into the cards. So, before the eclipse, let's just get straight to the point, yeah? Before the eclipse, it's actually, um, I think you are really like kind of like coming across with your expression, right? Like you guys are really like thinking about how you communicate, you're thinking about how do you guys express. In fact, I feel like this whole eclipse is happening in your third house, and that is all about really communication, right? So this eclipse is really kind of like bringing this theme of the phoenix rising from the ashes kind of vibe, and it's really making you think and feel and understand, okay, the power of my words. And you are an Aquarius, you have your power, your lies in your words, in your throat. You're an air sign, okay? You are here to give birth to realities which people have probably not even like thought about. Like you are living probably in 2050 already, okay? You know that, right? You guys are you are visionaries, you're like futuristic thinking and all. So right now you're really like, okay, I've got all these things to share, I've got all these uh, things that I want to talk about, things that I want the world to see, but how do I want to do that? And so I feel like you're really like, and I feel like even if you don't want to talk quote unquote about expression, it's also about like, just think about it in your interpersonal relationships, right? Like even when you have a conversation with a friend and you want to talk about your opinions, your beliefs, your thoughts, and of course you're an Aquarius, you have a ton of them. It's like how to say it in a way which does not cut them off, because I am an Aquarius moon and I know even when we don't want, we can have a tendency to come off like that, right? To come off in a way like I know it all, when that's not what you meant. And I know you guys don't, maybe sometimes you do. But it's like, because you do know a lot, like you guys are nerds, we guys are geeks, right? So I feel like this month is really about like till the 20th, you're going to really feel this energy of the eclipse building around your expression, about your communication. Like, how can I share this big wealth of knowledge that I have with people in a way that is sweet, compassionate, but also kind of like puts my point across, but also kind of like in a way which is justified and honoring the wisdom and the knowledge that I have, and is also kind of like not impeding on my boundaries, right? So it's like a balance of a lot of things, and I feel like it can really bring up a lot of like old stuff. It can really build up a lot, like bring up just like a lot of probably situations right now which makes you really think, whoa, I never thought that actually this matters so much. It's not actually so many times, Aquarius, what you say, it's which puts people off. And I know as Aquarians we kind of like have a tendency to think like no one likes me and I'm aloof and I'm cold and detached and stuff like that. But the thing is that it's not what you say actually what ticks people off, or which makes people kind of like, oh, taken aback a little bit. It's sometimes just how you say it. And I get it, like sometimes you need to just serve the truth in the way it is. But and I'm not asking you to water down your expression, like, okay, so get the difference, right? You're not being asked to water down your expression to make it more palpable or to make it more digestible, okay? You are in fact being asked to step into a way that is authentic to you. So maybe some of you out there, for some of you the message could actually be that you're being really hiding your talents, your knowledge, your wisdom, because you're too caught up in trying to fit in, you're too caught up in trying to please people, you're too caught up in trying to be digestible, watering down your expression, and at the end of the day it doesn't feel good to you. It just like feels so inauthentic to you. And as an Aquarius moon, like even right now when I'm making this video, I'm speaking like it's just like just channeling through me so easily. Like I did the Capricorn video just like few minutes ago and I was just like so tongue tied, but right now it's just like channeling through me so fast. I can just see you guys have so much to say right now, you guys have just so much to share right now. And it's really this fear of Will I be accepted? Will people like me? Will they reject me? Or nobody likes me, nobody cares? Yeah, I know you guys will. Obviously, we always think no one cares, no one likes us. And you know what? The good part about being Aquarius is like you don't care either. You don't care if I mean, I saw one of these posts I shared, I think a couple of days back, weeks back. And I remember because my dad distinctively came and mentioned, because he was just like so amused by it. But that post was by a projector in human design. And she said, my social media expression is not for you to understand. And I was like, wow, that's like so Aquarius. Is she an Aquarius? Maybe she might have some Aquarius placements. But I think sometimes we need to get out of that mentality of like, oh, I'm like, I hope people kind of like understand me. I hope they don't misunderstand me, because as I said, we guys can come off a little bit like cold, detached, rude, even when we don't mean to. And it's just been like we've just had bad experiences, quote unquote, and it just like scares us. It's like it's really scary, okay? So there's that. And then after 20th, all this attention will move to when the sun moves into Taurus, into your home life. So how can you build a safer environment for yourself and for your expression? How can, maybe you would want to probably spend some time with your family, maybe you would want to think about your future family, maybe you would want to go back to working with your inner child, or maybe just like nourishing and nurturing it. Because the Taurus is also a very homely sign, you know, like Taurus is ruled by Venus, and Taurus is all about beauty and at the same time safety. So it's very interesting how actually Taurus, the sign of Taurus, is actually about both. It's like about the perfect cocktail of beauty, but at the same time um, safety and strong foundation. So I feel like maybe this time around you're being asked to kind of like bring that idea of how can I actually provide a safe sanctuary to my inner child while I have witnessed this big revelation in the way I'm supposed to be in the world, in the way I'm supposed to express my truth in the world. So how can I at the same time make sure that I feel safe, I feel restored, I feel like taken care of? Like how can you communicate with yourself, right? Mercury moves into Taurus, and then actually you might actually start speaking about a lot of family structures which people may or may not like, but that's not your problem actually. You know, um, you're here to speak your truth. If an Aquarius won't speak their truth, who else would? Hi, I got this card today. Share your voice. Everybody is being asked to share your voice right now because we need this. And yes, we all will have very different perspectives, but it's okay. We can ride with it. We can ride with these differences because you guys have so much to say. It's crazy. You guys are like all wrapped up in your knowledge. You've been studying a lot, and it's time to share it, right? It's time to start sharing it on a medium like this, but also in like really conversations you have with your family, with your friends. Like, why not? So you're really being kind of like asked, and as I say, like as you go through this death and this rebirth before the eclipse or on the eclipse, whatever, you would also have to probably, maybe for some of you consciously, some of you subconsciously, a lot of past life wounds of being persecuted because of expression. But just a humble reminder that you're not that anymore. Wait, actually, I have something for you. I wrote on Instagram the other day, and I think you guys would really kind of like vibe with this message. So here it goes. Women like you and me have spent lifetimes in secrecy. Women like you and me have spent lifetimes being in spiritual service namelessly. Women like you and me have spent lifetimes in lies and pretense of who we are not. Women like you and me have spent lifetimes hiding in tribes, oblivious of our healing magic and sacred medicine. For if they, the caretakers rooted in patriarchal religion and faith, found out the truth of who we really are, we would have been burnt alive, and well, we have been. But if this is the lifetime your soul chose a flesh who could speak, write, lead, heal, and embody her high priestessness without harm, why would you not be standing at the altar already with your medicine? Why would you be afraid of being too much or too less? Why would you be afraid of losing loves which never loved you for who you really are? Why would you be so afraid? You are free now. You're safe now. And this is the lifetime your soul has waited for. It's time. If you're not following me on Instagram, the link is down below. But yeah, this is the post. And let me know if you go find me through this. But yes, definitely something, this could be a manifesto for this month, I feel, because a lot of our communication expression barriers actually come from all these past life wounds, right? And of course the childhood wounds as well. So I feel like this is an opportunity to face everything, but at the same time burn everything, and then really like stand into your power, into your truth, right? Venus has also moved into Gemini in the on the April 11th, and that means that you're also being asked, just like many other signs, your Capricorn friends, your Sagittarius friends, to go out there and play in the sun. You will have a lot of opportunities come through your pleasure time, your fun times, your hobbies. So, as I said, when you really want to experiment with your expression, it's not just about, oh, I'll start a podcast, or I'll start a YouTube channel, or I'll start posting on Instagram. Though of course they are big mediums of expression, and obviously I'm all about it. Like, if you follow me anywhere, you would know. But it's also sometimes just expressing yourself in conversations, right? Like, so many of us hold ourselves back from speaking our truth in our families, in a group of friends, because we're like, okay, the internet gets me, but we're so afraid to speak our truth in front of our the people closest to us. But actually the people who are put into your circle have been put in so that you make an impact, so that you create that ripple of shift in their consciousness. Just one seed planted. It doesn't have to be like trying to make people believe in what you believe. No, I'm not talking about that force energy. I'm just talking about that planting that seed of consciousness. And that happens when you speak your truth, because this is my truth, this is what I live in, this is how I live. Just being very truthful about it, just being very honest and transparent about it. So yeah, let's do your cards. Yeah, you are kind of like on fire this this month. When I say on fire, I mean like you feel that fire to reach out, you feel that fire to share, you feel that fire to make an impact. And at the same time, of course, this brings a lot of anxiety. This brings a lot of past wounds. Maybe literally you've had, as I said, ugly fights or spats around with people who didn't get you, who didn't understand you, who were probably not on the same page as you, and are so scared to speak your truth. And you kind of like have this tendency to run away. Tell me about it. But now you're being asked to not run away, and I don't think you are anymore. Okay, you see the truth, you understand the truth. Also, your cards, they just came so quick, I don't even have to shuffle anymore, all cards are out. But I would say this is kind of like a period of like where you're hanging in, and where like stuff is moving internally. So you might not see a lot of external manifestation of it, but it's still kind of like happening. Yes, uh, it's still moving. So you might feel like, ooh, I don't know, is anything happening on the outside? Because a lot of stuff is happening inside. Just like your Capricorn friends, right? Actually, a lot of people, I think Sagittarius, are also being asked to go in within. So go within. It can be very uncomfortable when we think about expression because of all the wounds that we have been inflicted with. So I would really recommend a lot of nervous system practices like breathing, breath work, or just resting, napping, um, snuggling, going for walks to just remind yourself of that safety, right? Uh, and also kind of like reminding yourself that you are your inner parent now. Yeah, I do feel like it's like later in the month, the eclipse kind of like gets you to see where your expression was blocked, probably in your childhood. And it can feel a little like not so great, but nothing that I don't think that you cannot take it. Like, I think you guys are badass at this point. You're like, Nothing Scares Me Anymore by Lana Del Rey. That's the vibe. Nothing scares me anymore. Yeah. So like the devil, you wanna pop in, pop in. I don't I don't give you know. That's the vibe. You are like really good at this game, at this point. I think like later in the month you really have an opportunity. You really have something to either say or someone really asks you to speak. And you're like, wow. Or someone really asks or mirrors you. Aquarius. I feel like there is a chance to get vulnerable. And I've been repeating it like, yes, it's all about expression. Externally, maybe you want to share with the world, but there is some conversation happening that's really intimate and vulnerable, and that's like so moving that you've been waiting for a very long time, but also something that you've been dreading because, like, the devil has been kind of like distracting you and telling you it's not safe or it's not okay to let yourself be into to let yourself kind of like, okay, I'll tell you, give you an example. So I have been lately posting a lot, and because I've been doing these readings obviously, and I've been just like, okay, let's just have this experiment and let's just go for full force. Now obviously, just like always, a classic manifesting generator, I'm in human design, we kind of like tend to feel like this thing when we are getting into something and we just want to like pull back. And that could also be an Aquarius moon thing, because you feel, oh my god, I'm getting too obsessed. Because I have a cousin who's also a manifesting generator and she's also an Aquarius moon, so I'm still not sure if it's an Aquarius moon thing or it's a manifesting generator. Let me know down below. But there is a tendency to kind of like go and then be like, ooh, no, 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 no. And that kind of like just stops the momentum so many times, right? And we don't pull back because we don't have the physical strength or endurance or interest or passion. There's a lot of passion, there's a lot of heat, there's a lot of interest, there's a lot of actually also physical endurance or desire, but there is not a lot of, I mean, there's a lot of conditioning that you're being too much. So as I can speak for manifesting generator, we have a defined sacral, which means like we feel like, too passionate. And you kind of like have this narrative going on in the spiritual community, especially when you follow the manifestation pages, because like whenever you're going to be obsessed about something, that's not going to happen through. It's a sign to pull back your energy. And I get it at some level, but also kind of like, I'm realizing that actually that's my fear of vulnerability, when I'm kind of like giving it in, and when it's like almost time to actually receive, but it's like I'm like going. I just want to like stop and pull back and like go 10 steps backwards, because there's a tendency to feel a lot of vulnerability. And this is something I used to experience when I used to talk to people, and now I'm experiencing it, say, right now in social media, right? But it's the same feeling, because I was like, oh my god, this feels exactly the same way how I used to feel when I used to like say talk to someone, and I used to feel like okay, and then just being like completely detached, because oh, I don't want to think too much, I'm thinking too much, I'm being obsessed. And sometimes you're not even obsessed, but you think you're obsessed, like because you've been told, maybe, or there's a lot of like you tell yourself that, right? But really asking yourself, are you like getting like too obsessed, or it's really your vulnerability? So I feel like for you guys, coming back to your reading, the digressions always make sense, trust me. Coming back to your reading, I really want you to look at it. Is it your vulnerability to share? Is it your vulnerability to speak? Is it your vulnerability to be seen for who you really are? Because you're so afraid that, whenever I've shown it, it's never been received well. But either ways, it's like this time around, it's not like if they would like me or they would not like me, but it's about being who you really are, truthfully, transparently, honestly, speaking your mind, your heart, your like just speaking up. Feel like communicating is a big theme for you right now. Very important for you to speak up. What else do we have for Aquarius for this month of April? Okay, very similar themes to actually what Capricorn were, but it is really like seeing who you are. And okay, if you want to embody your divine feminine, your full grown divine feminine, you can't do it without embodying your full body inner child, like all of your inner child. They both are naked, they both are out in the world, feeling this freedom on their skin. Such an Aquarius vibe. So many similarities. Soak in the similarities and see how can you free your feminine. And just like knowing that when you free your feminine, you free your inner child. When you free your inner child, you free your feminine. They're working together. Okay, something is like really up, and this is especially true for Aquarius. Venus or Moon, if you are, but maybe if you're watching this, would be for you as well. Something is really landing up, and you know it. It's been coming. Something's like really making sense in a very tangible way. Something that you have been like really freaking manifesting. So everything that's happening right now, it's just to tell you guys that please don't run away. Please don't run away, stay. Please don't get scared of your expression of your truth. Please don't hide it. Please don't think it's too much, because you will have a choice to make. There's a lot of forward momentum that's happening. It will. So 8, the Chariot. In another tarot deck, there's also the Strength card, 8. But it's really having like, you have a lot of mirroring energies. You see yin, yang, You see this mirrored vibe. Be like, when Venus enters into Gemini, you're really being asked to like have fun, be lighthearted, and still like say what it is. But as I said when we began this reading, to say it with, instead of the sass, bring the softness a little bit. Okay, we love your sass, but just be gentle with whoever crosses your path, because probably they are coming from a vulnerable place. Okay, they're loving and coming from a place where they have gone through a lot. So yeah, just a reminder to speak your truth with gentleness. And I feel like this is an art. I have gate 22 in as my Mercury in human design, and the gate 22 is grace. By the way, I might be doing human design videos in the second half of the month, so stay tuned. But gate 22 is really, so having that Mercury, grace 22 is called grace and compassion, and having that in my Mercury really made me think, okay, how can I communicate my truth compassionately? And that's what really I think came through this reading. So remember that just because you, like, I don't think that truth is always bitter. I feel like truth is what it is in the way it is delivered, and how it is being received is obviously none of your business. It's really up to them, and you can't control you. There's only so much you can do about it, but there is something you can do in the delivery of it, right? As I said, lots of nervous system practices for you guys, Aquarius. You guys can tend to you are an air sign. It can be a little tough for you to manage all that emotions in you, in all that mind energy, vata energy, to cope with it. Like, your nervous systems get attacked the first thing. So really take care of that. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful month ahead. If you want to check out any of the one-on-one sessions, I do tarot, astrology, human design, alchemical healing session, and an expression session. Yes, I have an expression session. I think you guys would really benefit from this. So you can check out the link down below. And I have all my resources housed inside my membership called Jewel. It's a space which I created so that I could share all the learnings that I have gathered, all my spiritual knowledge, wisdom tools, resources. I'm speaking so fast in this reading. I told you guys I have so much to say. Please speak it out. But yeah, that's where all my resources are. So if you want to check it out, you can check it out. It's a membership where you pay on a monthly basis, but with an option to cancel anytime, so you can come and try it out for yourself. I'm sending you so much love, and I will see you next month. Can I promise? I don't know. I hope you just enjoyed this.